Welcome to yoga. Today we're going to explore some balance poses and with the idea and the concept of moving energy in our bodies. The physical practice, we think about the physical poses, our bodies, but one of the things that happens as we're practicing, as we're breathing, as we're moving, is we're just allowing energy to circulate a little bit more freely through our bodies. And a lot of times we can get little stuck areas. We hold a little tension in there, and it feels like there's a little kind of blockage, a little holding in of energy. So allowing ourselves to breathe, allowing ourselves to move, opens up all the different energy channels in our bodies. In yoga, we call them nadis. And they map the nervous system, the blood system of our bodies. There's many of these little kind of energy channels that run all the way through. But our main energy channel is the sushumna, and that maps our spine, our physical spine. So it runs from the crown of our head all the way down to the base of our spine. And then just like a tree with branches, all the other energy channels branch off from there to the rest of our body. So with that in mind, sit nice and tall. So you're lengthening your spine, you're lengthening out that sushumna energy channel that we want the energy to just be able to free flow. And then take a moment to close your eyes. So in yoga, our breath is very much linked to our energy. The Sanskrit word for breath is prana. That's also the Sanskrit word for our life force energy. So allow your breath to deepen. And the more we breathe in this full breath, it's more nourishing for our bodies. So take a nice inhale breath and imagine that that energy is lifting from your tailbone all the way up your spine to the crown of your head. The inhales have that lifting quality. And as you exhale from the crown of your head, allow that energy to move all the way back. And it's almost like you can hook the breath into the core of your pelvis. And then from there, lengthen and lift all the way back up. Exhale, relax, soften down. And a few more times, just with that visualization of lifting energy, smoothly, fully, free-flowing all the way up through your spine. Exhale, bringing it all the way back down. And see if as you move through your practice, every now and then come back to that idea of the lifting inhale, the softening exhale. Take a few more breaths. And then allow your palms to come together in Anjali Mudra. A mudra is a hand position. This is the mudra of our heart. So we're just letting the thumbs rest at our heart center. And then softly bow your head to your heart. Take a moment here, just quiet reflection, maybe something that you would like to bring into today's practice. All right, as you exhale, lower your hands all the way down. And then we're going to begin today in child's pose. So if you're on a block, you're going to take your block off, bring it to the top of your mat. Come onto hands and knees. Allow your knees to widen, toes to touch, and then just come all the way down. Rest your head either on the mat, or if that's not feeling ready for that yet, let your head just rest on the floor. Even your stacked hands. Maybe reach your hands back behind you. And even here, feel that quality of the inhale, drawing the energy, the length of your spine. Exhale, softening it all the way back down. Take another breath in your child's pose. And then we'll start to make our way up to hands and knees. Right, beginning to move the energy through the spine, the sushumna. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. So this really allows the front and the back of our spine, our vertebrae, to open. And we're moving on the breath. So the inhales, we're lengthening, arching our spine. This opens up the front of our body. As we exhale, we round, open up the back spine. Just really getting used to that idea of moving on the breath. Okay, take one more round of cat-cow, and then we'll deepen this movement. So as you exhale, bring your hips back to your heels, forearms come to the mat. Inhale, press through, and lift up. Exhale, round, and sink back. All on the breath. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. All right, next time we inhale, let's come all the way back up. And then we'll tuck our toes underneath. All right. So press into the balls of your feet. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Lean forward and then lift your knees up off the mat, just an inch or two. So it's feeling a little bit more energy, a little bit more strength here. So navel hugging in towards your backbone. Shins hug together. Forearms hug together. Take a nice full inhale. And then as we exhale, press it all the way up and back. Down dog. So just walking this one out, bend into one knee, bend into the other. All right. And then letting your heels melt towards the earth. Take a breath. All right. On your inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. So press out through your heel. Lots of length through that back leg. It's nice and strong. And then look forward towards your thumbs. And as you exhale, round into your spine, hug your knee in towards you. And then we're going to step it through. All right, and then lower your back knee down. Walk your hands up to the top of your thigh. Then creating a little bit more openness in your hips, so your hips sink a little forward and down. And then let your arms rest down by your sides. It's like you're reaching your fingertips to the earth. All right, lifting tall through your spine. Take a nice full inhale breath. And exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Next inhale, we'll sweep our arms up. Lift your gaze. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend into your elbows. Feel your elbows press back, heart lifts. Take a breath in this posture. And then take your hands and reach them back behind you. So you can bend your elbows, stack your hands on your low back, or clasp your hands and lift your legs. Maybe reach your hands just a little bit away from your low back. All right, and then inhale, coming all the way back onto the exhale. Also lower your hands down, stretch back through the right leg, and any amount forward fold. And we'll just roll a little bit on the back of the heel, allowing that movement to kind of come from the hip. So it's like you're moving your thigh bone in the hip socket. Alrighty, and then let's walk ourselves forward. Left hand stays down. As we inhale, twist open to the right. Okay. Exhale, lower. Then we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're going to take the right foot, step it all the way back to the three-legged dog, and hold here. Inhale, come into a high plank. Exhale, press back. 2 more times. Shifting your weight forward. Exhale, pressing back. Nice. Inhale, forward. Exhale, press back. Lower your right foot. Okay, take a breath, down dog. Inhale the left leg. All right, so pressing back through your heel. Lots of length. And then as you exhale, hug your knee in toward you. Lift that leg as high as you can. So when you step it through, maybe the foot doesn't drag on the mat to get there. And then we'll lower down. Hands to the top of your thigh. So shoulders balanced right over your hips. Hips, shoulders face forward towards the short edge of your mat. Fingertips reach to the earth. All right, inhale, reach up. So spread your fingers, lift up through the center of your heart, sides of your neck, crown of your head, fingertips. Exhale, bend your elbows. Maybe even find a little back bending. And then from bent elbows, we're going to take our hands back. Maybe bringing the other thumb on top so you lace your fingers a slightly different way. All right, then any amount, lift your hands away from your low back. All right, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Straighten out the left leg, forward fold, roll on the back of your heel. So what feels good to just open up the back of the left leg here. All right. Walking forward. We're coming into the twist to the left. So right hand down, left arm lifts. And when we're twisting, that's always important to keep that long extension through the spine. Take another breath here. And then we're going to lower down, tuck the back toes, lift the back leg, and then we're going to step the left leg back to a three-legged dog and hold. Okay, inhale through, high plank, and exhale back. 2 more times. So it's always the pace of your breath, more than my cueing. And then press it back. Lower the foot. Take a couple more breaths in your downward facing dog. All right, and then we're going to bring our feet to the top of the mat. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to standing. Arms lift overhead and then exhale your hands back to your heart. Close your eyes. Come to Tadasana and take a few breaths. So now we're standing. We're still creating that length through our spine. We're allowing the breath to move the energy freely up and down. All right, then bring your hands to your sides, palms face forward. So that energy that we're lifting up and down our spine, we want to kind of seal that energy into that Sushumna energy channel. And we do that with a thing that we call root lock or Mula Bandha. And it's a little kind of lift in and up of like the muscles around our perineum. It's almost like if you imagine like a sink, if your pelvis is like a sink with the drain, it's like plugging that drain up, so we're allowing the energy to stay there. And when you can use these bandhas, these energy locks, it really helps to hold the poses, create strength in the pose. So we use that slight lift in our pelvis, Mula Bandha. Navel hugs in towards the spine and then lifts. And we call that Uddiyana Bandha, and that sends the energy upward. So see if you can play with that. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Bring your palms together, steeple mudra, so index fingers point up towards the sky. As you exhale, reach and stretch to the right. Maybe look down. All right, inhale, lift all the way up and back, go over to the left. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, swan dive forward and down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And then we're going to bring our hands down, step our feet back. Inhale through to a high plank. So you could hold right here or chaturanga. We're going to lower down, elbows back. Pelvis comes down to the floor and inhale, lift cobra. Hold your cobra pose. All right, so don't come up too high. Come down to a little bit more of a baby cobra. Elbows squeeze in and press back. Tops of your feet press. Hold here for another couple of breaths, or maybe lift your hands up off the mat. Nice, and then we'll lower our hands, tuck our toes. See if you can press back up to your plank, and then press back down dog. All right, take a breath here. So we're going to lift the right leg up behind us, and then bend your knees, stack your hips. Take a couple of breaths. We'll re-straighten your leg behind you, and then same thing here. Round a little into your spine, lift up on the left foot, draw your knee in, and see if you can step it through. Okay? And then the back heel comes down. We're going to lift all the way up and open. Warrior two. All right, let's take a few breaths here. Sink your hips. We want to have our heel right under our knee, so we don't want to come too far forward. It's a little bit too much pressure on the knee. All right, reach a little forward. Right palm reaches up. And then reach up and back. Reversing your warrior. From reverse warrior, let's come into reverse triangle. So we keep everything, but we're just going to straighten the front leg. And then reach your hands all the way out. Reach forward and down. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Strong and steady. Use your breath, and then see if you can create that little hugging in, that little bandha energy seal. And then come all the way back up. Warrior two. Reach back behind you, clasp your hands, and we'll take a reverse, so we'll take a humble warrior. So lift your heart, lift your gaze. As you exhale, we're going to soften all the way down. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Reach your arms up overhead. If your arms don't freely lift, maybe have a strap or something that you can create a little bit of space between your hands. All right, last breath in humble warrior. And we'll bring ourselves back up to warrior two. Exhale your hands down. Coming to a high lunge. And then the right foot steps back. Downward facing dog. All right, take some breaths here. There's always time to come down, take a child's pose. Okay. And then as you're ready, we're going to come into the other side. So lift your left leg up nice and high. And then you're going to draw your knee in as high as you can, round into your spine, create space beneath you to step that foot through. All right, and then as you're ready, you're going to windmill up and open. Come to warrior two and take some breaths. All right, so bending a little bit more into your front knee, maybe bringing this thigh as parallel as you can to the mat. Lean a little forward, flip your left palm. Inhale, reach up and back to your reverse warrior. From reverse warrior, we just straighten out that front leg. Maybe reach back just a little bit more. Reverse triangle. Beautiful. And then reaching forward and down into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Beautiful. Here, one more breath. Make your way back to your warrior two. Looking along the center fingers. And then we're going to reach our hands back, humble warrior. Maybe reversing the grip. Inhale here. Exhale, folding, coming down to the inside of that left leg. Inhale, lift it back up. Reach your arms out. Exhale your hands down. Step it back. Lower the foot, then maybe coming through your vinyasa. Knees down is always an option. Inhale, lift through. Cobra. Or maybe up dog. Tuck your toes, press it back. Down dog. Okay, take some breaths. Lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, we're going to step it through again to come into humble warrior twist. Prayer twist. Walk your hands to the top of your thigh. You do have the option to come into this with your knee lowered, or a little bit more bouncy is to come into it with the back knee lifted. Reach your left arm up. Reach forward and then bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, palms together. Lift up and then hug your thumbs in towards you. All right, take some breaths. Always twisting with that long lengthened spine. Beautiful. And then to release, look down, lower your hands. So we have to come into the other side. Have a couple of options here. We can step forward and step back, or maybe press a little bit more into the mat and do a little scissor jump switch. Coming up to the top of the thigh, right arm lifts. Reach forward, so we want to lengthen out through the right side. Keep the length as we come into the twist, and take some breaths. On your exhale, look down, lower your hands. From here, we're going to walk our hands to the long side of our mat. And then just fold everything down. Maybe walk your hands towards the back edge of your mat. Have the idea that you're kind of almost drawing your torso through that space you've made with your legs. Walk your hands back, come halfway up. Heel toe your feet a little closer together. And then we'll come all the way down into Amalasana. And the same thing here. Tailbone lengthens towards the earth. Crown of the head lifts towards the sky. Take some breaths. Bring your right fingertips down to the mat. Hug the back of your leg onto the back of, hug your leg onto the back of your arm. Reach your left arm up. Beautiful. And coming to the other side, so come back to center. Left fingertips down, and right arm reaches. Awesome. Back to center. Stay here. Come out anytime if it's kind of a little hard on your knees. Or let's play with our crow pose. So hands are spread wide, and you want your hands a little bit wider, or at least as wide as your shoulders. And then bring your hands down to the mat. I'll turn around this way so you can see a bit better. Squeeze your knees onto the backs of your arms, or even better, lift your hips and nestle your knees into as high as you can into your armpits. And then you're going to lean forward, and look forward. And then your toes start to come a little lighter. Maybe one foot lifts, maybe both feet lift. And then take some breaths. About 5 breaths, and then come all the way back down. All right. Bring ourselves up. Shake everything out. Come back to the top of the mat. If you have blocks, for the next series of poses that we're going to do, these are going to come in pretty handy. So we're going to have the blocks at the top of the mat, one on either side. All right, come to Tadasana and take a breath. Bring your hands to your hips. Keep your left foot at the top of your mat. Step your right foot back. So it's not quite as far back as you would come into a lunge. And then hips and shoulders face forward. We're going to take a forward fold here. So you can keep your hands on your hips and come all the way down. If you like that shoulder opener, clasp your hands behind your back. If your shoulders are really open and you're not nursing any shoulder issues like me, you could bring your hands together in Namaste behind your back. All right, and then we're going to come forward. So pyramid pose, both legs are nice and straight, spine is nice and long. Come down halfway. All right, so left hip hugs back, folding over your left leg. Take a breath. All right, inhale. Let's press all the way back up. Bring your hands back to your hips. So this is where the blocks are going to come in handy. Keep your left hand on your hip, reach your right arm up, lots of length. As you exhale, come forward halfway down. Bringing your hand down to a block is going to bring the earth a little closer. Either the block on the inside, or if you come to the block on the outside, it's going to be a deeper twist. Hug your left hip back, reach your left arm up, and maybe follow with your gaze. So we always want to keep that nice long spine, keep the breath flowing, twisted triangle. All right, to come out of it, look down, lower your hands. On your inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, lower your hands down. All right, so to change sides, we're going to step the right foot forward and step the left foot back. I'm going to come to the other side of the mat so you can see me. All right. So both legs nice and straight, hips, shoulders face forward. Find your arm variation. Inhale here. Exhale, come halfway down. Right hip hugs back. And then we're going to forward fold over that front leg. Hold about 5 breaths. Press your feet to come back up. Release your hands. Right hand comes to your hip. Left arm reaches up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Reach forward. Hug your right hip back. So that hand on your hip is going to help hug your hip back. Lower down, find one of the blocks. And then we're going to twist open to the right. And then maybe reach that arm up. Okay. It's a pretty deep twist. Beautiful. To come out of it, exhale, hands down. Feet press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Step to the top of your mat. Okay. Come back to Tadasana, take some breaths. Close your eyes. Alrighty. And then we're going to take a little twisted balance pose. So from Tadasana, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot to the back of your mat and then windmill your arms up and over. Okay, so Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And we're always looking in the direction that we're going. So we're looking forward and down. The block's coming really handy here. We're going to reach down. Left hand comes down to a block. And then leaning into it, we're going to lift the back leg. All right, reach your arm up. So this is half moon. We're going to come into a twisted half moon. So exhale, lower down the right hand. Bring Bring everything to center. Then the right hand stays down, left hand comes to your hip. Lengthen, and then we're going to open up to the left. Beautiful. Take a breath. Lower the left hand down. Step the right foot down. Bring your hands to your elbows and just rock out from side to side. All right. Hands to shins. Inhale halfway. Come all the way up. Awesome. Hands to your heart. Okay. We'll come into the other side. So come into your forward fold. Right foot's at the top of your mat. Left foot steps back. Coming in, first of all, to our warrior two. All right. Left hand comes to the left hip. Reaching forward and then lower down. So you want your hand or your block right under your shoulder. Standing strong on the right one. Maybe stay here. Maybe reach the left arm up. Maybe open up your gaze. Torso. Take a breath. And then we're going to come back. Left hand's going to come down. Level out your hips. Press back through your left heel, the foot's flexed. And then maybe the right hand comes to your hip. And then we're going to start to twist open to the right. And maybe reach the right arm. Beautiful. On your exhale, lower it down. Lower your left foot. One more time. Hands to your elbows. Rock out from side to side. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your mat. Step both feet back. Option to come through your vinyasa, chaturanga, cobra, down dog. All right, and then knees down. Come into child's pose and take some breaths. Okay, come up to kneeling. Sitting on your feet, or maybe bring your feet a little wider and sit your hips down between your feet so you get a little stretch for the front of your quads. Hands rest on your thigh. Spine nice, lifted and long. Close your eyes, take some breaths. Alrighty. And then we're going to take your hands to your elbows and then bring your elbows down onto the mat. Tuck your toes underneath you. Bring your hands and then gently clasp them. And then we'll come into dolphin pose. So it's like downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. So tuck your toes, lift your hips, and then just let your head hang freely. Awesome. And then we're going to just maybe let your head rest down on your mat. Walk your feet in and take some breaths. All right. Beautiful. And then lower your knees. Come back to child's pose. So this is a prep for headstand. And headstand is something that, you know, can be a little scary, especially if you haven't done one before. So we'll kind of prep it and then just see this, if you're not used to doing a headstand, coming against the wall is going to give you a lot of support. But you just take it little step by step. So coming back down, we're going to tuck our toes, walk our feet back in. So the part of your head that's on the mat is not the crown of your head, because that's going to put a lot of pressure on your neck. It's just about the hairline. So it's between the crown of your head and your forehead. So see if you can find that. Tuck your toes, walk in, and then just lift one leg. And then maybe just play with just a little bit of bending, straightening. Okay, and then we'll lower that foot. And then we'll lift the other leg. And just a little bit bending, straightening, lower down, come to your knees, and take some breaths in child's pose. Okay, so we want to, if we lift to a headstand, do it with a little control. So there's a lot of different kinds of headstands. So this is a bound shavasana, a bound headstand. It gives you a little bit of more support on the mat. It's a little safer for your neck. The other one, which I'm going to demonstrate because I have a little bit of a shoulder issue, and so it's like I'm a little bit, I don't have a lot of freedom in one shoulder, is a tripod headstand. So then you're still going to have that same part of your head resting on the mat, and your hands are going to be out nice and spread, and you're making like a triangle with a nice wide base. And then we'll come back here, walk in, and just lift one leg, and then we'll lift the other. All right? If you're coming up, lift one leg, keep that leg lifted, and then see if you can lift the other. And then one leg at a time. Come down, and rest in child's pose. If you're doing it on your mat without the support of a wall, kicking up is, you might get a little bit too much momentum and go all the way over. If you're going to kick up, I would have the support of the wall. You've got something there to stop you. But just take it in little increments, making sure that you're comfortable and you're not kind of, you know, guys, you just take it carefully, take it and slowly. All right, hands down, lift all the way back up, downward facing dog. And then just take some breaths, just stretch everything out, maybe let your head just rock a little bit from side to side. All right, and then let's take a pigeon pose. So we'll do the right leg first. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lift up, draw the knee through. Come down, walk your left foot back. Awesome, come down. Rest your head. Take some nice full breaths. And about 5 breaths into the pose. If you like to deepen, you can walk your right foot a little bit more to the top of your mat, wiggle your left toes a little bit further back, and maybe let your head just rest on the block. And then we're going to come out of pigeon. Slowly make our way back up to down dog. Walk out the right side. Nice, and then we'll do the left side, so left leg lifts. Round into your spine, hug your knee through. Soften, walk down. All right, take a last couple of breaths in pigeon. And then starting to slowly make your way back up. Tuck your toes, last downward dog, so pressing back. Walk out the left side. Awesome, lower your knees. And then sit off to one side. Okay, so extending your legs out in front of you. Bring your hands down to your sides. Sit nice and long, tall. Rooting down through your tailbone, lifting tall through the crown of your head. We want to keep all of that length. If you have any low back issues, we take a forward fold here, maybe bend into your knees. Otherwise, lift up and grow tall. And then as you exhale, keep that length. Heart presses forward as you come folding over. Hands come maybe to your feet, maybe to your shins. Lengthen again, and then soften and fold. All right, inhale, lifting all the way up. Awesome. Bend into your knees. Bring your feet together, and then let your knees come wide. Don't hug your heels all the way in. We're going to take a forward fold, so it's more like a wide diamond. You could slide your hands under your low legs and then reach them over to the top of your feet. Soften down. Coming into Kamasana, turtle pose. And we'll bring ourselves gently back up. Now we will bring the feet in a little closer. So knees wide, soles of the feet together. Hands come to your feet or your ankles. And inhale here. Same thing here. We're going to exhale over into the forward fold. Tuck your chin in. Take some breaths. And gently inhale back up. Help your knees together. All right. And sitting lengthways on your mat. Bring your hands just to the back of your thighs. So lengthen up through your spine. Lift your heels, hug your toes in, or hug your feet in a little bit more. Lift your feet. So the hands are here to support your low back, or maybe reach your arms out both ways. This is where we're going to really engage those bandhas. So hugging in, lifting the floor of your pelvis. Navel hugs in, it's like it's scooping your navel under your low ribs. Hold here, or extend your legs. We'll take about 5 breaths. Alright, and then bring your feet down to the mat. Just ragdoll yourself over. And take some breaths here. Alright, inhale, lift back up. Come back to boat pose one more time. Hold for 5 breaths. And then we're going to come into like a sinking boat, just kind of bringing a little bit more distance. And then eventually take your hands to the back of your thighs. Roll yourself all the way down. Knees bent. Hands by your sides. All right, take a few breaths here. And then press a little bit more firmly into your hands. And then we're going to press into our heels, lift our hips to come into bridge pose. So that clasp we've been doing, we can start to work our arms under our shoulders. Come into the Yoga Mudra clasp. All right. Take a couple more breaths in bridge. And then we'll separate our hands. Heels lift, and then upper, mid, low back, hips slowly come back down to the mat. Take a breath here. Alright, draw your right knee in towards you. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee. So coming into a figure 4. Press firmly down into your left foot, lift your hips, and then press your hips towards the back edge of your mat. strong left leg. Take a breath. Nice. And then we'll gently lower that side down. We'll come into the other side. So right foot comes to the mat. Left ankle crosses over, the foot's flexed. Root down through your shoulders, your arms, and your right heel. And then inhale, lift. And then lengthen away. All right, close your eyes, take some breaths. So then the next time you exhale, let's soften all the way back down. Beautiful, release your foot. And take a breath. All right, draw both knees into your chest. Take your hands to your knees and rock a little from side to side. Keep your knees lifted, bring your arms out to the side. As you exhale, come into a twist to the right, maybe looking over your left shoulder. Notice your breath. And then start to let the breath soften. So now we're just easing into the last few poses before Shavasana. Alright, on your inhale, knees lift, head comes back to center. And then we're going to bring everything over and twist to the left. So the right leg stacked right on top of the left leg. Left hand can just hold the leg there. Or reach out and maybe look over your right shoulder so you bring a little bit more twist into your upper torso. Nice. One more breath here. And then the inhale is going to bring us back up to center. Hug both knees in, maybe even come into your happy baby and rock from side to side. All right. When we release, extend your legs out along your mat. Bring your legs nice and wide. Let your arms rest down by your side. So at the beginning of class, we talked about the movement, the breathing, allows that free flow of energy through our bodies. So close your eyes. Allow your body to just settle, the bones, the muscles, everything becomes heavy. Toes are just rolling out towards the side of your mat. And then just notice how your body's feeling, how your energy's feeling. Maybe you feel a little bit more uplifted, a little bit more energetic. Maybe you feel a little more relaxed, a little more softening. Breathe as if you could send the breath through every part of your body. Breathing like you could breathe into the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Take about 5 more full deep breaths here. And just allowing that softening, that settling of your body to just prepare you for your Shavasana today. Because Shavasana is where we really allow that energy that we've created through our practice to work its way deep into our bodies, all the way down to the cells, deep into the tissues. And then letting go of the Ujjayi breath. Maybe creating a little bit more pause between each breath. And that pause creates a little moment of stillness that we can just drop down into Shavasana. again, noticing your breath. Allow it to gradually deepen. You can stay in Shavasana for a little while longer, or starting to bring a little bit more movement to your fingers and toes, a little bit more stretch through your body. Draw your knees in towards you. Rock a little bit from side to side and eventually just rock yourself over. And you make your way up to seated. Alright, once you're seated, get comfortable. So we just finished class with a few rounds of an alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana. So the idea is that we're still using that idea of the breath moving freely up and down through that main energy channel, the Sushumna, that matches the physical spine. As we breathe in through the left nostril, we're sending the breath down, and then we exhale out through the right nostril. So it's like we're looping the breath through the left and right side. But in your mind's eye, visualize that breath traveling through your spine, like all the way through that Sushumna channel. So closing your right nostril with your right thumb. First two fingers rest just at the center of your forehead. Take a full deep breath in through the left nostril and hold. Close the left nostril with your ring finger, lift your thumb, and exhale all the way through the right. Then inhaling through the right, lifting that energy. Release the left nostril, and then you exhale through the left. And that's where we're drawing that energy down. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close, retain, and exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. We'll do one more round. So inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. When you exhale through the left side, release your hands. Take some nice full breaths and just let it go out through your mouth. Bring your palms together. Softly one more time, just bow your head to your heart. And gently open your eyes. Namaste.